Hello and welcome to another edition of the Plus One interview. I know y'all haven't seen me in a while, but we got some special guests that they drove to be here, so we gotta treat them well. Leo and Mark is back with us. Leo's here, couldn't be here the last time. Mark filled in, but now we got the both of them fellas. What's going on?
Well, it's very nice to be here, sir. I think we connected, a while ago, earlier this year, and it's always been a part of, our objective to connect with you and see what we can do to collaborate together.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Leo found me on, I think it was Instagram. He found me on Instagram.
Yes.
That's how
some of our partners, collaborated with you previously, so that's how I found you.
Yeah, definitely. Mark, you're back this time, Mark. Always got something with you.
Always got something, man.
This time
so
you brought the basketball.
With the basketball, with Spalding, logos up front. Just want to represent exactly what we're doing out there and who we are.
Oh yeah, definitely. Guys doing a lot of work in the AAU scene, and a lot in the community as well. But first, Leo, how's this summer been so far? The circuits and the live periods is pretty much wrapped up.
Yes.
A lot of kids finished up their time playing AAU, and they all had a little nice post about playing their time. But first, just like for those players that completed their AAU journey, that they've already committed to college or are gonna commit to college, just what is kind of like from your perspective, like what is AAU has done for them, because they've probably been playing since probably elementary school.
Yeah, and just to put a perspective out there, right? The AAU World Championship ended just a few weeks ago,
right?
And Orlando, Disney, so ESPN, Wilder Sports, right? And sometimes with that being wrapped up, it basically means the AAU season's over, right? For our younger players, it will be their first time, right, to experience an entire season, and wrapping up at Disney, really enhanced their experience and made them really want to play basketball for the rest of their life, right? But for the older players who, get to experience that one last time, it really means a lot to them, because for me, basketball is more than just competition, right? It means a lot more than just what school are you going to, what colleges are you committing, right? Because basketball for me is that people enjoy it for a reason, and it's way beyond just simply competition.
Right. And also when you just look at it, because you see those players' journeys from when they first started. Yeah. Not only when they first started basketball, when they first started AAU, and you kind of see their progression, and they're able to document it with like photos and videos from their first AAU game to their last AAU game. It's kind of like a surreal moment for everybody, right? Even as you guys is being part of it and seeing kids you probably had from like 7 years old to now they're 17 or 18 and wrapping up, right?
Totally. And, Mark has, 2 sons on his own, and, I think Jamari and Mason both played basketball for a while, right? And, we started Super Meteors together, an AAU basketball program, and, Mason and Jamari were actually members of that club, right? And, Mark was their coach, so you can see how that influenced, their lives too, right? More than just his.
Right.
And then Jamari was here with us last time, and then it's bigger than basketball. So when me and Leo met, my idea was teach those kids life after basketball.
Right.
And Leo had the same message. There's no difference in what we're trying to preach. It's the same message. The only difference is we're trying to reach all kids.
Right.
It's basketball for all and basketball forever.
Right.
So what I mean by that, it's when you're done high school, you can't play in college, but you still have a basketball mindset, a good disciplined life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To keep going. You can still play for fun.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Mario is doing a great job in Brockton with Hope Alliance, connecting kids after basketball.
Right.
So they can keep playing and find some entertainment. You know what I mean? Keeping life going.
And then, for you as a coach too, because as coaching, when you're getting them so young, you're pretty much part of their lives on a daily basis.
Yes.
Not only your own kids, but you're also responsible for other people's kids too. So you got extended family, they're an extension of your family at this point, right? So you see them go through the ranks and then, play that final AU game. They're still they got the high school, they do play in high school, but that final AU game, and you're able to see how they've grown each year, right?
Yes.
For a coach, how proud are you that they're able to take those lessons from a young age to the point where they're becoming young men and getting ready to the next phase of their life?
More than proud, like, you know how some parents only proud of their kids? No, I'm proud of every player I ever coach. Why? Because if I can make a difference in your life, to be in a positive mindset, I did my job. If I can make a difference in your life to be consistent in what you want to do, discipline, and I see that on a lot of my players.
Right.
So the first grade I started to coach was 5th grade. That was 7 years ago. Probably half of those kids still playing high school ball. That's when I did a pretty good job with a B team to make sure they're still playing ball.
Right.
Now, I don't think they're going to go into the NBA, but probably a few of them are going to play college ball.
Right.
And for me, that's productive. You know what I mean? All of them are disciplined. All of them are respecting their parents. All of them are still in school. That's the goal. The goal is not to have a team and have them ready to the NBA. There's people in the NBA right now that's not good people. So we're trying to promote good people through basketball.
Right. And with the program that you have, first, just let's take it back. Just tell everybody how you founded your program and how it all came about. When did the idea start?
Well, the idea started, in March of 2023. I was at Morth Youth Center in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And especially in that youth center, it's a lot of where kids from, some unwealthy families come together, right, and play basketball there, in the afternoon time. So, they get off the streets and they go home at night and just repeat that life every day, right?
Right.
And Coach Beast, that's his name. He was, I think, a youth worker over there. And lots of these kids never played organized basketball before. They just shoot around, in the court and all that stuff that they've been doing since they were 5.
So they go there just, as you said, stay out of trouble and you keep themselves busy, right?
So we've decided to offer a program for the first time for them to try what it's like playing organized youth basketball. And what does it feel like to play on an actual team where they are able to meet competitions from all across Northeast, right? And after that has gone for a year or two, I met Marc, and Marc has been around the community of Brockton for a while, and I originally came to him for some basketball training for myself, right? And we just got together and just connected over time, and he joined my program, the Super Meteors, right, as a coach and as an administrator for the organization, right? Really, I think the point of where our impact becomes huge is when New England AAU, the Amateur Athletic Union of the United States, invited me to be the director of basketball for the district, right? And then we kind of stopped doing Super Meteors for a while because we have bigger things to do. Right. For example, tournaments, as Marc told you about, right? For the past season, we had at least 4 or 5 tournaments that we run on our own, and at least 5 more in the Northeast region where we oversee and supervise, right? And those tournaments often had over 70 teams coming to them. Sometimes it is not the easiest, right, to manage that and also Super Meteors. It will be irresponsible for us to do something on our own that we cannot put our full attention to, right? So Marc, decided to step up after schedule got busy. He became the director, and I was promoted to the chair of basketball for the whole conference, which covers from New York, New Jersey, all the way to Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, etc. Right. Marc's been a great supporter of the cause. And now we're trying to take this brand to the next level because we want people to know that AAU basketball is way beyond just basketball. It means culture. It means fostering a comfortable environment for all, an inclusive environment for all.
And as Marc said, the last time he was here, you guys put on so many tournaments throughout, right? Can you just remind people some of the tournaments that you guys were able to put on just this year alone?
So here's what I would do. I'll tell you what we organized, and Marc will, tell you the interactions that he had with people, right? Because that's, I think, more valuable in terms of what actually was perceived by the public, right? So I'm sure you know Tristan Jazz, the influencer from, Buckets Over Bullying, and also he has over 10 million followers from across YouTube and Instagram. He's a basketball influencer. He decided to jump on board with us this April to host an anti-bullying basketball tournament for the first time. That experience influenced a lot of people. People who play AAU basketball didn't know that just by them playing in the court, right, it sends a message. That tournament's the first time something meant more than just basketball in the grassroots level, especially here in Springfield, Massachusetts, right? And during that tournament, unfortunately, a fight broke out.
We had a little incident
where 2 teams weren't getting along with each other, and they decided to fight, fight it out. Yeah, police got involved. It was resolved. But at the end of the day, by that tournament promoting an anti-bullying cause, it reminded people, right, that basketball is more than just competition. We can come together and stop bullies from, attacking each other.
So in that tournament, the main objective was to promote anti-bullying. And we were able, or I was able to give a speech in front of probably 200-300 people that was at the gym, so we stopped playing. So everybody came to the main gym, and the speech was about how to go about recognizing bully, all right, dealing with it,
Right.
and preventing it. Cyberbullying was a big thing.
Yeah.
You can be in a group chat. Just by laughing at something or liking it, you participate in the bullying. So that's why I was telling those kids. And then if they need help, there's numbers they can reach out. If they're going through things, they can go on my IG, they can reach out to me. There's so many ways instead of going through it by yourself in a corner. Not everybody's comfortable talking to their parents. Not everybody's comfortable to say, hey, I'm going through something. Maybe I can tell you something as a stranger and you can give me an advice. But I might be a little afraid to let my parents know what's really going on, why I'm acting up certain ways. You know what I mean?
I want to add here, right? The whole reason why Buckets Over Bullying was started was because a 14-year-old boy committed suicide over bullying over the internet, right? That incident was not taken lightly by the Chicago school boards, and a lot of families were ruined because of that incident.
Right.
We do not want that to happen again. Kids aren't comfortable with talking to their parents most times because most parents today don't understand exactly what's going on the internet because it's evolving so fast, right? There are professional resources out there where kids can reach out to, but at the same time, it's sometimes society perceives us as embarrassing to ask for help, especially when it comes to mental reasons, right?
And then that's the perfect example because the mental aspect of it, that's why I'm trying to promote more. It's 80% mental, sports, life, driving, cooking, everything. Once you win in the mental aspect of it, you have a better chance. Not all those kids know how to deal with things that's going through their head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as an adult that went through life, my experience taught me more than my school. My experience in life taught me directions, decisions, and choices. And I don't think those kids nowadays, you could be the best basketball player. What you do after basketball matters to me more.
Yeah,
where you go after basketball matters to me more.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. And also everything just circles back to basketball and situations as you talked about. Some parents don't know what's going on with the kids' situation. You talk about some kids don't know how to handle certain stuff. It's kind of similar when they get on the basketball court if they've never been in a situation where you're down 1 point. There's like 2 seconds left on the clock, and you have to go make some free throws to win the game or to tie it up. That's like one of those precious situations. Like if you make one to tie it up, that's good. But if you miss both, then that's like, how are you gonna? What's your reaction to that? I mean, I can remember Darius Washington Jr. who missed 3.
But we can train the mind.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you can go on my IG. There's a video of again my nephew Wildens. Came to our basketball camp 2 years ago, and I put him under pressure.
Right.
I said, we're down by 1, you got 2 free throws. You make the first one, boom, now we tie. You
The second one.
Okay, we can go to overtime, it's on you, or we can win the game.
Right.
I think if you do that, let's say 10 times in a month, if you go and play a game and come across that, muscle memory,
Right.
emotion, you're already going through that. You're not going to crash as much. You're gonna be more calm. You're gonna be more ready for that moment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The best experience is going out there and having to deal with it.
And then
sometimes you have to deal with it.
But if you go through it and then you fail, guess what? Now it's the time to learn and grow more.
Right. Rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat.
But not everybody able to understand that. When I fail, I can go to someone and ask, oh, what did I do wrong? Can you guide me? But some kids, they fail, they done. They're done with sports. They probably take a step back from life, and that's why I'm trying to get involved. I want to reach those kids that don't have the capacity to make all decisions by themselves.
That's also important why programs are like you guys are so much needed because, they failed. Some don't know how to react to that, but you got the coaches aspect that could come and give you that moral support. Like, hey, man, we'll get him again. We'll get back. This is just part of your learning curve. You got the supportive teammates. So I think that family aspect is that's the biggest part of when somebody goes through something like that. If they kind of fail on the court and they don't know how to react to that, and they don't have a good reaction, they could just always fall back to their teammates or their coaches to get that moral support, or a program in general too.
It's all about the relationship.
Yeah. I like it, right? This is the way it should be run. Unfortunately, it's not. It's not always the case that it is run today, right? And I can probably name a few programs right now that are promoting the opposite, right? I don't think we can blame it on the parents, the kids, or the coaches as a whole. I do believe we should blame on the culture that's currently being instilled to our kids. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But if an NBA team, right, decided to fight another NBA team, if you're on that team, you're supposed to help out your teammates if a fight breaks out, right? Not pull apart immediately. You're supposed to join the fight, win it, to show that you're like supporting your teammates, right, throughout the entire thing. And then deal with the consequences. The league probably fines you, but that's not not something you should worry about. It's because every single time that happens, ESPN makes money off it, right, by promoting something like that. Hey, a fight broke out today. Here's what happened. A fight broke out, yesterday. Here's what happened. Who was involved? Who was injured? Right. And these media coverages make them money, so they don't want that to stop. Right. I think we should promote a culture where, instead of joining the fight, we should immediately calm ourselves down and just pull apart, right? Do not let things escalate further, right?
Staying on piggyback what he's saying, just like we spoke last time. Positive youth development. Everything's positive. I know you can get attention by promoting negativity. We're not doing that. If, like you said, there was a fight, me and you didn't even talk about that last time.
Right.
Because that was not, it's not like it's not my focus. My focus is we're only focusing on the positivity. Why? Because if we're promoting positivity, if we're practicing positivity, we have a better chance to be in a positive environment.
Right.
Did that happen? Yes. We had 6 tournaments. That was the only incident.
Right.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not like it was a repetitive thing. We understand why it happened, how to prevent it next time. Proactive. Let everybody know we're here to be positive. We're here to have fun. We're here to learn. Holding the coaches accountable, the referees accountable,
Right.
The players accountable. It's easier to
It's
control.
not that these fights won't happen on its own, right?
Yeah, especially on a basketball court, something's going to happen because of the competition and stakes and stuff.
But how the parents act matters. How the other players act matters. How the coach.
The stance.
If 2 kids are fighting and then the coaches say, get involved and separate, it's easier. But if all the players jump in,
if the coach joins in too, that's another issue.
If the fans jump in, now we look like we got a brawl.
And we've seen that a lot this summer in a lot of tournaments and all that. So
and a lot of tournaments are not AAU certified, and that's something we promoting. It's AAU certification. So you need to be approved by one of us to host a tournament in New England.
Yeah, there's a lot of that money grab tournament.
Yeah, and all entry fees is never over $30. I see entry fees $60. That's not AAU.
Right.
Our entry fees are set at 15 and
20.
And 20. We don't exceed that.
Yeah.
We don't ask anyone to pay for parking.
Right.
There's certain things that's out there. It's not from AAU office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? McDonald's sell burgers, so there's Wendy's.
Tensions will grow. It's not like they won't. But now organizations like ourselves need to step up from preventing it, right, to escalate further.
Right.
There are, as you said, money-grabbing tournaments out there who let people fight it out and just call it a day, right? I mean, it's going to end, but how is it going to end, right? I know for a fact that last year, somebody, right, I'm not going to name the organization, I'm not going to name the person, I'm not going to name the team, was legally dead for a minute on the court until paramedics got here. And then things got bad, very quickly. We prevented fights from happening, especially him, right? You can see him all over the facility trying to make sure that nobody gets in a fight because there were tensions.
Right.
And sometimes sacrifices have to be made, right? When referees are accused of making the wrong calls because discriminations or they just simply don't like you, now that's a deeper issue, right? What I can give you an example is during the World Championship, one of the teams, you know, in the 11th grade, complained about the referees being Puerto Rican. And because they played against a Puerto Rican team, the Puerto Rican referees gave them the unfair and unjust cause. They called me personally, and I reassured them that the AAU World Championships referees are all certified. But sometimes the certification doesn't mean anything, especially when it comes to a racial level, right? And Marc can tell you more about how, you know, he was accused of being something very bad during one of our events by, you know, somebody that looked like him. And we had a deeper conversation about that, right?
Yeah, and then when people see change and growth, they don't know how to handle it. Yeah. When people see calmness in an event of frustration, they don't know how to handle that. So I was calm when everybody else was, I was positive when everybody else was trying to escalate. So instead of coming to my level, they're trying to attack my personality. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then what they say, what doesn't matter then, it won't matter now because I'm still here doing the same thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, it's always funny too, especially, you know, if anybody listens to me, I'm the hardest on officials, but it's always funny when like a team or people will complain about officials, as you said, about a Puerto Rican ref having a ref. It's like, he probably has no ties with these people. He probably don't even know any of this. You're just saying that because they're the same culture.
Because you lost.
Right. They're always going to try to find a reason. Like that's always the funniest thing. When I see when people try to get on refs, they be like, "Oh, you're from here, so you're giving them the color."
And that situation is simple. I understand where you're coming from, but just to let you know, they're human. They're reacting to what you're giving them. Right. If you're giving them a lot of negativity, it's hard for them to see everything you do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you creating that situation.
Yeah, it's like they've already made it up in their mind. I got a few bad calls. It's like, this is why we're not getting these calls.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Come on.
So going there to support your kids. If you focus on your kids, the ref call won't matter as much.
Also, I mean, you've also recently been doing work with the United Nations.
Yes.
Can you speak a little about that and how that came about?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Well, I've been recently involved with Athletes United for Peace, a nonprofit organization certified by the United Nations Economic and Social Council as a consul NGO basically, right? Where we offer them advice, we give out statements, and we also make appearances during meetings, right? We are also authorized to host United Nations official side events during some bigger events, like the World Summit, for example, like the Women for Conference, for example, right? One of the things that we are currently working on is to develop a playbook curriculum focusing on 3 phases. What can we do to improve and enhance inclusion in 3 phases? First phase is before the game. Second phase is during the game. And the third phase is after the game, right? And I think our vision, right, is to create a world where every participant, not just players, not just coaches, not just referees, not just parents, right, everybody feels included and is treated with respect and dignity, regardless of their identity, background, and race, right? It is very important to me that we try to develop a curriculum where we can implement actual actionable solutions into certain areas where they actually become efficient. We can't just say, don't be racist, right? Don't be sexist. That would never work. It often, you know, it comes up in a tone where DEI professionals in school, for example, must set the tone at the beginning of the school year to prevent fights from happening later down the school year because of discrimination. We can't just handle everything in a case-by-case scenario where we only handle things when it is done, because that's too late. So before the game, during the game, and after the game.
Okay.
In another word, I say that too much sometimes. Let's be more proactive. So that's what that is. The curriculum is a proactive steps on how to deal with certain situations, on how to prevent situation. So if you know what to do before games, to be ready mentally, physically, emotionally, during the game, how to deal with things, And after the game, loss, win, all those things matters. Because you could be celebrating a win now, but you go play the next game, you lose.
Right.
You see how to handle that. So the curriculum will have every steps all the way.
Now, is this curriculum that you're sending out to coaches, officials, and,
Yes.
other like defect directors and stuff like that?
Well, this UN accredited curriculum will be sent out to schools mostly,
Okay.
right, for their implementation first, and it will also be widely used across the Amateur Athletic Union (AAU) across all its events, right. Our goal, right, is to reduce inequalities, and that is in alignment with United Nations SDG number 10.
Okay.
They have been trying to achieve all the SDGs, right, the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. That does not seem possible now. There's no way, right? So I guess implementing something in sports, everybody plays sports
Right.
from a youth level, right? It would definitely make a great contribution to achieving SDG number 10, which is reducing inequalities.
Gotcha. That's some good stuff right there.
Basketball for all, basketball forever, man.
Yeah, and definitely on the high school level, because we're seeing. I mean, we've seen coaches step down from their positions because of factors that don't involve the actual job. We've seen parents just on the news for the wrong reason for that. So that's a great implementation especially on the high school level.
And Leo can tell you the conversation we have, and then that's why he's pushing for certain things. You know what I mean? It's the conversation we be having on how to help others. It's not that decision is not going to help me.
Right.
But it's going to help not even my son, but it's going to help another kid.
Right.
I want any kid to be able to have access to everything my kids have. And that was my goal, because not every kid have access to everything. And when I met Leo, and that was it's not about money. I told him the first day, it's not about money for me. I'll continue to do this for as long as I can. But if we can make a change,
Right.
I'll be wealthy.
Right.
And I'm okay with that.
Right, and you look at it because now you guys been operating like on a region basis, right? Helping out the region, and then usually the next goal is nationwide,
Yes.
and then globally, right? But first, how's it been just implementing everything in the region, and what's like the next phase of going nationally with it, and then to get it globally?
Definitely.
Because as we all know, basketball is a global sport. It's
Yes.
growing worldwide, and there's a lot of programs in different countries that are there to help the underserved youth to try to get somewhere in life and get out of their situation.
For sure, and and I'd say it comes mostly directly from our responsibilities, right? I try to make a conversation with somebody, and when things are happening and are planned out, he comes in and then be a more down-to-earth person to execute some of the things we've been talking about on site, right? So, for example, once we have the curriculum developed and it's completely set, right, to implement, we will host a tournament, and he is going to follow that curriculum to make sure that everybody is following the rules and regulations, right? And it comes to the national level too, right? What can we do on a national scale where we can implement something like this? Now, I'd say we call for more regional field directors like Marc himself, right, to actually help enforce the energy and culture of each game.
Right.
Not just collecting money, not just paying referees, and not just walking around doing nothing, right? We need more people dedicated to promoting a culture at each site. And that's the only way we can prevent fights from happening. That's the only way we can prevent incidents from being tragic. And that is the only way where a curriculum being implemented would actually work, because somebody is enforcing it.
And I know Leo said that word culture more than once. To be honest, the environment is the culture. So if you come to one of our tournaments, as soon as you walk in, you already feel different. The culture and the atmosphere is different.
Right.
I'm happy. The person next to me is happy. You walk in, and even if you were stuck in traffic, your energy might be matching my energy. So when you say culture, it's like that's why we're trying to promote. So if I'm at building number one, person that's at building number two need to create that same culture.
Right.
And that's the same thing we're trying to implement all over the nation, right? At the regional level for now, but all nationwide in the future, right? and this is the difference between me and Mark, right? Mark focused on education while I focus on what can be done, right? How should we do it,
right,
and what would be the consequences of it, right? And now, for example, I'm not going to name the kid or anything, but we have seen a few kids trying to steal from the concession stand, right, from our own tournaments. And Mark came in and saw it, right? He allowed it to happen to make it an educational moment for the kid. Well, if it was me, I'd just call the police, right? Now, and I'd say this is the culture we're trying to foster, right? Every site director should have somebody next to them to foster that culture
right,
every single time. One guy can't do it all,
No,
right?
no.
Because if it's just him enforcing the culture and not the rules, things will break apart easily. If it's just me enforcing the rules but not the culture, we're like any other money-grabbing tournaments that are out there,
Yeah,
right? So the both of us work great in that region, and I'm hoping to have that across all regions nationwide,
Right.
where every tournament has someone like him along my side to make it happen.
But you two also have like the kind of different perspectives as you see, because Mark being from Haiti, it's like where exactly
Hong Kong.
your family's from Hong Kong,
Yes.
right? So you
Two immigrants.
Two immigrants kind of coming to America, getting that American dream. So you kind of have two different perspectives on how try to accomplish a goal, because you two both had to work your way up. Especially
Yeah.
step one is coming here learning English. That's like
Yeah.
step one, and then adjusting to the culture here, right? So
Yes.
how has that helped you two in building this up too as well?
Well, let me say
because
this,
you have to
right?
go
Yeah.
out and talk to a lot of people.
And let me say this, the United States of America is the best country on earth, and that's for sure. Because no matter what race you are, we welcome you, right? And that is beyond just the culture we have been fostering today. And I say this with great pride because in Hong Kong and China and every other country, right, if you're a foreigner, everybody looks at you, not in a racist way, but in a way that they think that you are very different from them. But in the United States of America, when I and Mark and everybody else walk on the streets, we see people with different races, and we come together to accept one another, right? So I think in the United States, the process of growing has been easy for me because my English is good, and that might not be the case for someone whose English is not very good, right? And the reason why I say America is the best country on earth is because to thrive in this country, the only thing you need is the commitment to being a part of this culture. You got to have good English. You have to understand and accept everybody, not just your own race, and come together and help everybody solve a problem. And that's the same thing with Mark, right? You're from Haiti, right? You came to this country, and we've identified a problem. He learned his English, and we are able to effectively execute this regardless of what our races are.
Right.
And then this relationship show the world you can. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not faking it. Last time I came here, I was very honest, and then you can see the energy. This energy is pure. My goal is to bring youth sports to Haiti. That's my final goal. But in order for me to get there, I got to go to inner city in Brockton. I got to go to all the inner cities first to give all those kids opportunities first. And then my final goal is to bring youth sports to Haiti the same way it is here, where kids can say, okay, every other weekend we know we're going to play soccer. We know we're going to play basketball. We know that's all I need. That's all I really want for the future is kids to be able to be active more with education aspect of it, not just pick up a ball and go play. There's an education. When you pick up that ball, it's a responsibility. It's a commitment. You see what I'm saying? It's not just, here's a basketball. I want those kids to learn life through basketball.
Yeah, and that's something that I think Mark is doing a good job at, because not every kid sees basketball as an opportunity for growth, right? Lots of people see it as an opportunity to defame others, right? To make themselves look better than another person, right? When someone like him, I'm not a coach myself, so when someone like him enforces what basketball should represent to the kids at a grassroots level, that's the message they will send to the future generations. Basketball means responsibility. Basketball means discipline, and he can add onto the list, right? Not basketball means defaming that guy. Not basketball means bullying that guy, right? So I think it is very important for us to set the tone before the game starts. What does basketball represent? What does the soccer ball represent? And what does the game represent? And after the game, what did we learn? instead of how can I fight that guy, right? And how can I get the police involved so this game is forfeited? I won't really want to count it, right? And Mark can add on to that.
What did you learn throughout the course of the game? How do you react to whatever situation happened at the game?
Right.
Are you going to blame the ref? Are you going to blame the other players? Are you going to blame your teammates? Are you going to blame your parent that was stuck in traffic that got you there late so you didn't there's such amazing list of things for you to look for when you're not happy with yourself. My goal is be happy with what you did. You lost by 20. Did you do your best? Yes, I'm okay with that.
Right.
So it's not about the win and loss. It's about learning moment.
Also in the learning moment and the education moment, with this program, you guys are involved with any colleges, or is that in the works already to get more colleges involved with you guys?
Sure, and that's a good question. Thank you for asking it, because one of our advisors, right, I have an advisory council, right, where the chief advisor works at a prep school, while one of the advisors in that council is a head coach at a college, right? So we have actual professionals backing this whole thing up, right? Because we are sick of it together as a community, that basketball today isn't what it's supposed to be, right? And people like him, like the head coach, right? Like Mark, right? Like the guy that worked at a prep school, understands that if this path is what we're going at, we'll be doomed. So we have to make a change.
What was kind of their views on kind of today's game and today's basketball culture?
It's too fake, man. You know, it's too fake when you're promising a bunch of middle schoolers just because they play in an exposure tournament and they have some rankings developed, they will get a college contract. That's not possible, man. You know, and just because you're promising this guy 900 likes on a post on Instagram, that doesn't mean college coaches like that post, right? The social media aspect today can be a great promoter of a good cause. It can also mislead a lot of people into doing something that they shouldn't be doing or shouldn't be focusing on, right? Too many kids today focus on the media attention. And as tournament organizers, we have to comply with that. We have to, you know, partner with someone like Slam, right, to get us the attention we want. But we understand at the same time it's not going to get, I mean, sure, it's going to boost my account. It's not going to get the result that the kid wanted, right? And Mark knows all about that because, you know, he has 2 sons on his own, right?
Yeah.
And he educates them to be social media responsible.
Forget about highlights. You don't need, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can post, okay, a kid posts 10 video highlights, all good. I want to see the 10 bad.
Yep.
I want to see the 10 times you didn't get the ball. I want to see, and then that's why I want them to understand. If you want everybody to see the good, then you have to accept the bad.
Yeah, usually you got to post the link of the full game.
And
Post the highlights, but make sure you post the link of the entire game.
So you make every shot.
And let me ask, you know, the parents that are watching this, right, or the kids, do you want us to hire basketball coaches to show up just so you think that they're there to recruit you, right? Is that the image that you want to see? Because if that's the case, I can easily buy people to come in. And that's not what I want to do, right?
Yeah, we're not doing
Because people
anything.
act different when they see, oh, so-and-so is in the gym.
Yep.
Like if I go somewhere and there's a basketball, some people recognize me as, hey, you're directed. Oh, Marcus. No, I'm Mark. I'm not here to do anything. The same thing. They see a prep school coach or a college coach. That person wants the ball more, or the coach is focusing on his kids now.
Yeah, at the same time, those people are just sitting over there because they're getting paid and eating pizza, right? Not looking at the game at all.
Yeah,
Right?
my favorite thing about the recruiting aspect, the social media aspect is great if you use it the right way, right? Make sure you put the highlights. But make sure you're also a good person.
Yeah.
Because the coaches will see the highlights. That draws their attention, but they're eventually gonna come.
You know.
They're gonna come to you. They're gonna come to a game. They're gonna see how
they're not dumb.
You know. You know, I had a coach here a couple of weeks ago. He told me his recruiting process. During his recruiting process, one of the assistant coaches was sitting in his classroom for the whole day. It was every class he was in, the assistant coach just watching him the whole day. So you got to make sure you conduct yourself.
One highlight won't get you in, you know, but it might get you out if you do something that's very bad on social media.
Yeah.
Right?
It draws the attention, but what do you do after that?
Yes.
But so the kids could use. There's a lot of kids that do use it for in the right way. They make sure they use that as just a stepping stone. That's not all they want.
And those are kids that got guidance in their life.
Right.
You know what I mean? In order for you to know what to do to make the right decision, you need guidance. There's someone in their ears that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Definitely. But so what's next? What's next? The dog days of summers is here. We're coming down. Fall is approaching. So what's kind of the next couple months? The vision for the organization, what you guys got going on.
Personally, I do not think we are capable of doing fall tournaments this year because I don't personally think that we are doing things at the best level.
Okay.
We can improve things. We can make it better. I am going to take the next few months researching and implementing strategies on how can we make each event the best. And people like him is going to help me execute them at the site, right? I think it's irresponsible for organizations to do stuff when they think that what, it's good enough. It's not the best, but it's good enough. It's very irresponsible to do that, right? You have to understand what kind of images are you putting out there for yourself, for the kids, and for the parents, right? It's not just you alone in the game. I mean, you might be the one collecting money, but the kids are the ones playing. And if they get hurt in that game because of a fight, it would not look good. The reputation is ruined. And you might just ruin somebody else's family.
Right.
So for me, I'll be hosting tryouts pretty soon for the fall season. The kids still gonna be playing. My goal, me and Neil gonna sit down to see if we can host at least one. He's gonna be focused on basketball for peace. Because I really want those kids to start putting that word in their mind and stuff. Like I already invite you to that event that's going on in Brockton Youth Day. It's that's the 8th year they're doing it. AAU will be there to support. I'll have a table, and I'm gonna give out maybe some notebooks to the kids and stuff like that. If you can show up, free food. Make sure you say hi to me though. You know what I mean? Don't just show up and get some food and you don't say hi to me. Make sure you give me some. All right. The goal is I'm bringing more sport. I'm not gonna just focus on basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm bringing more sports. I'm trying to bring baseball to town. Okay, cornhole is my next one. I want all kids to play cornhole. Why? Because cornhole, you don't need size, weight, none of those things matter. Any kid can play any age, so you can keep playing after high school. And AAU is implementing that right now to have AAU cornhole tournament. It's all going down in the Midwest, but I'm trying to bring it to New England. My goal is to give us more opportunities, just more.
If you're a fan of 3-on-3, we're hosting some in Times Square. The middle of Times Square, September 13th, 14th.
September 13th and 14th.
We're doing it with the national office, so it's not just going to be us. There's going to be a lot more people helping us with that cost, right?
Okay.
Tristan
and this is
Jazz.
going to be in the middle of Times Square?
Yeah, Times Square.
Oh,
come down with us.
And if you want a
with us.
media pass, just reach out to me.
down with us.
Tristan Jazz will be there. The Hoop Bus will be there.
Oh, man.
Come down with us.
It'll be a great event.
New York City.
Come on, make plans, man.
New York City.
Are you coming, Mark?
I'm there now.
Man, I might have.
Come on, man.
I haven't been to New York in a while. That does sound like
It sounds good. You got 2 events now. One in August.
Man.
All right, make that Sunday, man. Take the time. Make that trip.
We'll
And if
figure
you want, right, to be more involved with the work with the United Nations, we are looking for a moderator for panels, right, where we invite experts to come in and have a panel moderated discussion, right? And I think this is a great facility to do it.
I've dabbled in some moderations
And then
before.
what we can do, we can come up with some things to discuss. We can give you that list, and then that can be part of the plans.
Hey, man.
Because it's gonna be a lot of people, so everybody to be involved with the questioning and the answering, find out solution to some issues. So that's how we're gonna. And I want you to make sure.
Hey, man.
You know what I mean?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, community leaders like yourself is really important today. Not a lot of people are doing what you're doing, right? There's this great studio out here, and you're the only one utilizing it for this cost, right? And finally, I just want to say, the AAU promotes sports for all, forever, and it's going to stay that way. There will be no change to that. We will always, do our best to make sports accessible for all. make sports very inclusive for all, and make sports fair for all.
Definitely. Before we get up out of here, this has been a great discussion that we've been having here. Make sure you plug in the website, social media, all that good stuff to let the people know where they could get all the information and if they want to help out or if they want to be involved.
Mark, you want to go first?
Yes.
Right here.
My name is Marc Guillaumette, Director of Basketball Operation. You can find me at Salilanet, SALILASNET. You can find me also on Facebook. Anything you need about mental health issues, mental health, some steps you can do to avoid certain situation, reach out. All right. Thank you, and looking forward to see everybody.
Thank you, Mukala, for inviting me over. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
If you want to learn more about what AAU does, go to aausports.org for the national coverage. And if you want to learn more about what we're doing as a region, go to NEAAU Sports. Actually, go to neaau.org for all sports, and go to neaubasketball.org for just basketball content. You can find us at NEAU Basketball on Instagram. You can also find us the same handle on Twitter, which is called X now, right? And you can also find me on Facebook, Leo Lou. Thank you, everybody, and thank you so much for watching this.
Hey, man, this has been a great time with Mark and Leo. They made the drive was worth it. They made
Yeah, it was worth it. 100%.
They made it worth it.
Yeah.
We've been watching the Plus One interview. We will. Just to update. We'll be back filming in a couple weeks. We still enjoying our summer, but we'll be back full time filming every Wednesdays in a couple more weeks. So yeah, I've been asking. We'll be back. Yeah. Plus One, we out of here. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.